Hello students, so here I am with your second lesson from your textbook, and the name of the lesson, or in fact the poem, is The School Boy by William Blake. 1757 to 1827. He was born and brought up in England. He was an engraver, and then later he was a poet too in his career. A long career he had got in his writing poems. And the present poem, The Schoolboy, is from the book called The Songs of Experience, published in the year 1794. The present poem speaks of the problems faced by the child in the school. In fact, not only the problems faced by the child, but it gives us a lesson of how the education system must be. Today we are living in a competitive world. Every parent wants their child to be a rank holder, to be a topper in the school, in the class. He wants his child to be the gold medalist in the universities. So, this is a poem which gives us the essence of what is the true enjoyment, what is the true achievement, or how we can live a happy life with our happy childhood. I have written the whole poem on the blackboard here. This poem has got 6 stanzas, 3 in the first part and next 3 in the second part there. So let us start reading the poem. The boy, the school boy, he is speaking with the readers here. He says, I love to rise in a summer morning means morning. I love to rise. Every child wants to get up late in the morning when the sun is shining bright on the sky there. So he says, I love to rise in a summer morning when the birds sing on every tree. How must be that morning? The morning must be very beautiful, very bright, and he must rise to the sweet singings or the songs sung by birds on every tree there. The distant huntsman winds his horn and the skylark sings with me. Oh, what a sweet company. It totally says that the children want to rise up late in the morning when all the other people are busy. The distant huntsman winds his horn, means he is calling his fellow men. Come, let us go to do our job. The hunting was a job there. It is a rural background, right? You have to imagine that the child is living in a rural background where people are professionally hunters. They go for hunting there. In that atmosphere, the child wants to get up late when all the birds are singing on the trees, when it is a bright day, and he says it is a sweet company. He enjoys that company. Look at the second stanza. But to go to school on a summer morn, oh, it drives all the joy away. Drives, takes out. To go to school, the idea itself, to go to school is the idea here. To go to school on a summer morn, he wants to get up late, enjoy the nature, sing with the birds, dance with the nature there. But he says to go to school on a summer morn. Oh, it drives to remove it off. It drives all the joy away. Under a cruel eye outward, cruel eye refers to the teacher. He says teacher's eyes are cruel. They always look with anger at the students. That's why he says, under a cruel eye outward, the little ones, boys, children, small children, the little ones, spend the day in sighing to breathe out in tiredness. This is called sighing. When you get irritated, when you cannot express your frustration through your words, you breathe out. So that's how. When the little ones breathe out their frustration, that's called sighing and dismay, uncomfortableness. Third stanza. Oh, at times, sometime in school, children won't sit, they want to sleep, drowse, to kursu, they drowse. So he says, oh, at times I drooping sit and spend Many and anxious hours. Anxious hours refers to time which would have been spent learning many things, doing lot of creative work there. But what the children are doing here? They are spending many and anxious hours. Lot of precious time of the child is spent waste without any productivity, he says. Schools are wasting the time of the children. That's what he says. Nor in my book can I take delight. Book is not giving any happiness to the child, he says. Nor in my book can I take delight. The school boy is saying, my books are not entertaining anymore. They don't give me any happiness, any delight. Nor sit in the learning's bower. Learning's bower refers to school, right? So in the schools, books are not giving any entertainment. Books are not giving any delightment. And nor they can enjoy anything in the school building there. Overthrown with the dry shower. Overthrown to the building which has got old. And how it has got old? Through the dry shower. Dry shower, the process of teaching, he refers it as a dry shower. So the buildings which have been worn out, which have become old, listening to the shower of the teachers, dry shower of the teachers, that school building is not giving any enjoyment to me. Any delightment is not given by the school buildings. So this is the first question. Next one. Here it starts with a comparison. Imagine. How can a bird that is born for joy, how can a bird that is born for joy, bird is born to sing and dance and fly on every tree there, right? It is not a thing to be kept inside the cage. So it says, how can a bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? Cage refers to school. It says, every child is a bird which is born to enjoy its life there. Let it be free. Let it go and do whatever it wants to do. Don't imprison it inside the school there. The schools have become cages, you see. So he says, let the bird be free. How can a bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How can a child, when fear annoys, but drop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring? Wing refers to dreams. Right? It says that every child must be let free to dream. If fear of teacher, fear of school, fear of education, fear of books, if these things annoy it, if these things disturb its childhood, then it cannot grow properly. It will drop childhood. It will give away its dreams and it starts to become one in the group there, like a brick in a wall. But drop his tender wings and forget his youthful spring. Youthful, one which is full of enthusiasm. Spring means the flow of water, right? Forceful flow of water. Spring, Karanji. So he says, if you force the child to go to school, if you force the child to learn, to sit in the schools there, then it is going to forget its youthful spring. It's going to forget its all happiness. Then William Blake addresses the parents. Oh, father and mother, if buds are nipped, buds refer to children. If buds are nipped means to press it with your forefinger and thumb there. To press it. If buds are nipped and blossoms blown away, to fly away in the heavy wind. If those young dreams, young minds are nipped, tortured, blown away, and if the tender plants are stripped, again tender plants refer to small children, their dreams, their imagination. If those things are stripped, removed off, peeled off, skinning off, right? Dragging away the skin, like that, stripped of their joys, if those tender plants, if those ideas, those bud-like dreams of the children, if we nip them, if we strip them, in the springing day refers to childhood. Springing day refers to childhood. When they are children, when they are growing, spring is to grow, right? When in those springing days, if we strip the children out of their joy, how? By sorrow and cares display. By sorrow, by giving them a lot of punishments, by giving them a lot of homeworks, torturing them, and over care. Don't do this, don't do that, don't go, don't drink water, don't play with the children, don't play in the mud. So that's cares display, over caring, right? So if we do that thing with the children, then they are going to destroy their childhood. The springing days will be ruined. How shall the summer arise in joy? Summer refers to youth. Spring, you see, 3 seasons are there: spring, summer, and winter. So spring refers to the childhood, springing time, growing time. Then summer, adult age. How shall the summer arise in joy? You cannot find any happiness in your adult age if your childhood is destroyed. If you are curbed in your childhood, if you are stripped of your dreams in your childhood, then your youth or your adult life will not be as happy as it should be. Or the summer's fruit appears. Summer's fruit, the results of our learning and our hard work. Summer's fruits. So how we earn, how we live, all depends on how we have got our childhood is. So if we don't have a proper childhood, our young life, our youth, adult life will not be proper. Or how shall we gather what griefs destroy? Very beautifully he says. How shall we gather? Gather to collect. What he wants to collect here? He wants to collect what griefs destroy. Grief, sorrow. What is the opposite of sorrow? Sorrow's opposite is happiness. So he says, how shall we gather happiness? If our childhood is destroyed, if our adult life is ruined by our destroyed childhood, how can we collect happiness in our life? How can we gather happiness in our life? Or bless our mellowing ending years, old age, mellowing years. Bless to have a sufficiently wealthy lifestyle. To bless the mellowing years when the blast of winter refers to death. Spring, childhood, summer, adult life, winter, death. When the blast of winter appears, when our death appears to us, when we are tired, when we retire from our life, how can we have the happiness? If our foundation itself, our childhood, springing age itself is destroyed by care, by learning hours, by the teachers, by the school, how can we have a healthy adult life, and how can we live, or how can we bless our old age? So this is how, for a happy life, we need a happy childhood. And he says, the schools are not providing happy childhood for the children. He is not against the education system. He says every child must be educated. But the system of education, the schools, he says they are not as expected. They are not doing their thing rightly. They are not doing their job rightly. So this is how William Blake expresses that there is a drastic need of change in the system of education or in the schooling system, so that we can find a healthy childhood which can turn out to be a healthy adult, and which can help a man to live a comfortably wealthy life throughout his life. Thank you.